Hey, Alan here for Old English Outfitters. So it's coming up here on gun deer season in the great state of Ohio, and we're going to talk just a little bit about a couple of straight wall deer season cartridges that have come along. So a little about the rifle first, then we're going to talk a little bit more about the cartridges. The cartridges are really the big deal here. The rifle that we have here is the Savage Axis, not the Axis 2, just the regular Axis. So it does not have the AccuTrigger. It's a bolt-action rifle, detachable box magazine. These packages come with a scope. How is this rifle? It's serviceable. There's nothing fancy about it. If you're looking for a rifle that's inexpensive, because they're built to be inexpensive. You're looking for something that's inexpensive, still safe, still effective when you're out hunting deer or similar-sized animals. This will serve. The scope's nothing to brag about. It's a very simple Weaver scope. It'll serve. It'll do the job. This particular one that we shot today is chambered in 400 Legend. What the heck is 400 Legend? Well, so let's talk a little bit about the cartridges. Straight wall cartridges, when they first came along in Ohio, the old style cartridges like the 4570 and the 44 Magnum were our two most popular rounds. Well, since then, Winchester in particular developed this. This is the 350 Legend. It's a 357 diameter bullet, straight casing because it's rimless. It works fine in a box magazine like this. So Savage Axis rifles and Axis 2s and others have been chambered in this caliber. It's been extremely popular. One of its sterling features is the fact that it's very light recoiling. So I think it was a year or so ago, maybe two now, Winchester came up with this. And this is what we shot today in this rifle. This is the 400 Legend. Now, if you look at these two cartridges, you can very clearly see that the idea is the same. It's a rimless, straight wall cartridge. It's just bigger, okay? Bigger in diameter. 357 diameter projectile, 0.40 diameter projectile. Now, 350 has a wide range of bullet weights. It goes as low as about 145 grains all the way up to 180 grains. This one's a 180 grain. Also in Winchester's PowerPoint series, 400 Legend, 0.40 diameter bullet weighs 215 grains. So it's pretty significantly heavier than the 350. If you put these two side by side and look at them, they look identical, which they are, of course, except for diameter. So what's the advantage? What does 400 give you? Now, we shot this in 400. I've shot this in 350. Does the 400 recoil more than 350? Yes, it does. Is it horrible? No, it's not. It's really not bad at all. It felt a little bit like maybe a 20 gauge shotgun, just to me. Some people might, find it to be a little bit different, but some of that recoil is perceived differently by different people. In the 400 so far, we've only seen, I think, this about 200, 215 grain projectile, so you're a little bit limited in projectile weights. How effective is it going to be on deer? Well, theoretically, it should be a little more effective than 350 has been on deer. If you're a hunter, you know that much of this depends upon where that bullet goes. You put it in the right place, it'll do a good job. You put it in the wrong place, and it almost doesn't matter what the caliber is. Unless it's really a monster caliber, they can still get away from you, right? So Winchester's PowerPoint, this is kind of funny. I'm going to tell you right now. We got two boxes here, right? We got 350 and we got 400. Winchester PowerPoint. Boxes look the same. Brother, do they look the same? The descriptions on the back of what these cartridges will do are identical except for the name of the cartridge. We thought that was kind of interesting. They both say they'll give you quick knockdown, excellent accuracy, and deeper penetration. Both of them say this. Does one outperform the other? Well, the 400 starts at 2250 feet per second at the muzzle. Why in the heck is that? Well, the 400 has a little more case capacity because it's larger diameter, right? So you can get a little more powder in there, which gives you a little more power, which results in a little faster initial speed. That faster initial speed means that when you look at these ballistic tables, 400 outperforms 350 in both trajectory and energy all the way out to 300 yards. Realistically, these cartridges are designed to work out to about 300 yards. Most of the straight wall cartridges are kind of aimed at that, all right? Why is that? Well, you don't want something that's going to shoot flat out to 700 or 800 yards, because when you're in the field, gun season, a lot of hunters, potentially if you miss, you can endanger other hunters in the area that you may not even be able to see. These things keep that flat trajectory in that 300 yard or so range. So past that, they're dropping off pretty quick. Safer cartridge for downrange. That's the whole concept behind these. But I thought it was interesting that in both trajectory, flatness, and energy, the 400 outperformed the 350. Which one's better for you? Well, I don't know. It depends a little bit. A lot of times, if you're in close cover, if you're whitetail hunting, you're not going to have a terribly long shot. In Ohio, in forest country and hilly country sometimes, you may not have a shot that exceeds 100 yards. Either one of these should perform quite admirably if you can shoot the bullet into the right place in the animal, the right accuracy out of it. If you have an open field, cornfield, something like that, where you need to reach out to that 250 or so range, get a little more energy out of the 400. So that may be an advantage. Now, 350 has been very popular amongst people who are taking youngsters out, okay? First time out, first time deer hunting. Sometimes youngsters, not they're growing, they're not real big yet, right? So a shotgun, especially like a 12 gauge with a rifled slug, kind of hard on them, a lot of recoil energy. 350 has been popular because its recoil energy is pretty low. It doesn't kick as much as 400 does. 400 is still not bad, but you might make the judgment that 350 is better for your youngster, teaching them to hunt. What does all this mean? Well, either of these cartridges should do a pretty good job as long as you do a pretty good job yourself. Each of them has certain characteristics of advantages, disadvantages. Each is probably going to do the job fine. Depends a little bit on what you're looking to do with it. Flexibility. We have a lot of flexibility these days in these types of cartridges. 400 is probably the latest one to the table, to the game. The next one behind it was the 360 Buckhammer. 350's been around for a little while now. Remains extremely popular. So a lot of flexibility. And of course, you can still go back to, pistol cartridges, 44 mag, 357, things like that, 10 millimeter even. Traditional cartridges like 44 Magnum, 45 Colt, those cartridges work well out to 100 yards or so. Where these have an advantage over those is the ability to reach further out to that 250 or so range. Pretty flat trajectory, still good energy retention. So if you got an animal out there and you're capable, you're confident and competent enough to make that shot, you can make it happen. For all of you who are getting ready to go deer hunting this season, we wish you the best of luck. We appreciate you watching our channel. Thank you very much. And until next time, I'm Alan for Old English Outfitters.